what is going on, you guys? Welcome to One of Each, the Dumb and Hungry podcast, where we talk about our food adventures and our favorite food groups. I'm Angelo, the Dumb and Hungry.
And I'm Mychow.
And thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing all right. Mychow, it's always good to see you. What's going on with you?
Nothing too much, really. Definitely nothing I can think of on the food side.
That's quite all right. You're just here to catch up and, just, see what's going on.
I mean, what is it? So I watched Peter Pan Goes Wrong last night. So that was fun.
Tell me about
it's a farce. It's about it's a play within a play, basically, where everything goes wrong. It's a community theater, I think, that does that they do a community production of Peter Pan Goes Wrong, or Peter Pan, sorry, but everything goes wrong.
Okay.
And there's a lot of, if you've heard a play that goes wrong, it's the same production company as that.
Interesting. Okay. You did mention really that funny. From a previous, thing that we talked about. You did bring that up. I think I thought you had watched it when you were in New York.
Yes, that's right. We did watch the play that goes wrong in New York when we were there.
Okay.
That's right. But that was like the play that goes wrong, way older, lots of other people that are doing it. But this one right now is original cast.
Really? Okay.
So yeah, the Peter Pan Goes Wrong. With the addition of Neil Patrick Harris.
Okay. Nice. What's his role over there?
He's a narrator, because they've been swapping out narrators for different people. Or for the first couple of weeks, it was Bradley Whitford. Last week it was Daniel Day Kim, and then they actually extended the run a week. Like this week is the extension, and it's Neil Patrick Harris as the narrator.
Do you know why they switch him out? Is there a certain reason?
I don't know why exactly, but the original production, like on BBC way back in 2017, I think, was they had a famous person as their narrator as well. I forgot who it was, but it was a knighted actor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So is it something you'd recommend to watch?
Yeah. He's the knighted actor. Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Hold on. Yes, I did mention the knighted part.
Important.
Yeah.
Let's say there's an important actor, but then we don't know who he is.
Yeah, it is true. I have no idea who he is, but in the British entertainment industry, I'm sure somebody does. I'm sure more people do.
You're talking about the narrator?
From the original BBC production.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, that's why in this case they had 3 famous actors as narrators.
Got it. They have to try to uphold the quality, I guess.
I guess. But it's good. It's funny. Very funny. Neil Patrick Harris was more involved out of all the other narrators they had. Like he played a secondary role as one of the pirates as well. None of the other narrators did that, so he was more involved in the production as a whole.
Oh, interesting.
So it was really cool.
I wonder what it takes to kind of get you prepped, and ready for something like that. I don't know if it was a quick turnaround or last minute thing.
It'd have to be kind of. I don't know about last minute because they did announce it a couple weeks ago, but at the same time, Daniel Day Kim's last performance was Sunday, and then Tuesday is Neil Patrick Harris. So I don't know what preparation goes into that.
Yeah. But enjoyable nevertheless. Obviously, you pulled it off.
Yeah, and the differences that they do between the different narrators are great. Like Neil Patrick Harris specifically, he's doing a lot more. I don't know how to explain it, but he's like falling more on purpose, like rolling around when he's doing stuff. Like, I don't know what kind of performance you'd call it.
Okay. But he's no stranger to the stage, obviously. And,
definitely not.
Yeah. Okay. We'll have to check it out. Again, that's Peter Pan Goes Wrong. In the Ahmanson Theater?
Ahmanson Theater.
How long is it running till?
The Sunday.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah. Again, this was just a 1-week extension.
Let's see.
It's really funny. The writing is so good. There's lots of improv. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Like it's very slapstick kind of humor.
Yeah.
But I like that.
Okay, nice. we'll check it out. Very cool.
Yeah, it's a really funny show.
Yeah, from the creators of The Play That Goes Wrong. Peter Pan Goes Wrong. Maybe they just do this whole series of things that go wrong.
Basically, they also have it was a BBC show, I guess, but now it's on YouTube. It's called The Goes Wrong Show. It's like 30 minutes. Yeah, like 30-minute episodes of basically the same thing, but just with different scenarios.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, like episode 1 was a Christmas Carol kind of movie, or a Christmas special, I guess. Episode 2 was called The Pilot, not The Pilot. It was actually about a World War II pilot in an alternate history universe.
Okay.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
Yeah, so it's really funny. It's got really dumb humor, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, that sounds real fun. So very cool. Yeah, we'll have to check it out. I think by the time, if this goes out on time, people will have, I think like 2 days to figure it out, to get out there. But
that's enough time, maybe.
I don't know. I don't know the overlap of our non-existent audience. So
honestly, I thought this was going on next week, but I guess I missed the week.
Gotcha. It's fine.
So that's perfect. People have the opportunity potentially.
Yeah. Okay.
Just in case anyone actually listens and is interested, Hadestown is coming back in October for 2 weeks only. So you have to look into that as soon as you can, because
I understand
that's not
that
going to be here that long.
I understand that's a very popular production.
Yeah, it was the last best musical Tony winner before the pandemic.
And what's the kind of the premise of that one?
It's basically, if you know Greek mythology, it's the story of Orpheus and Eurydice, the guy who goes into hell to try to get his wife back from Hades.
Oh, sure.
Or not his wife, but his love interest back from Hades. But fails at the last second because of a moment of weakness kind of thing.
I see. Well, you just need to watch Hercules. I think that'll sum it up just fine.
Basically.
You know.
Sure. Hercules is definitely exactly what I was thinking of when I was watching it.
That's how I'd visualize it,
Yeah. I actually, when I was here last time, I actually took Tomo to see it. She said it was okay. The cast was okay, but the music is really good. I actually really like the music. So
well, it's hard to impress Tomo with anything, really. So
literally, yeah. Poor Renji. Look, Mom, I got straight A's. Oh, good.
I mean,
do it again next time.
I know, it's right. It's like, it's fine.
Yeah. So what? Okay, great. Good for you. Damn it, Tomo, please.
But that's coming back pretty soon, right?
Yeah, I think the first week of October.
Okay.
So if people are interested there, it's a short window.
There you go. So if you miss out on Play It Goes Wrong, you can try to catch Hadestown. I mean, yeah.
If you want.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, good. Yeah, but as far as food stuff goes, yeah, I've been making my way around, and there are a few places I wanted to.
That's just a habit now.
Yeah, I get it.
Anyway, sorry.
There are a few places I wanted to highlight. One of which is in the farmers market, the original farmers market.
On Third.
Yeah. As you know, that's just kind of a well-known spot of a lot of different types of places, groceries, restaurants, and things like that. But one particular spot I wanted to bring up was a new stall that had opened up of a place that serves burgers. And me, it's an important food group.
Major food groups, yes.
So I thought I'd pay a visit. So this is a spot called Thick Burger, and that's thick with 2 C's in this case.
As it should be.
Actually, so I don't know the exact story, but I have followed them on and off. So I think in the last couple of years, they were actually a pop-up out here, and I had tried them out at least once. They were over on the west side, and As the name kind of implies, they serve out burgers, and they're not your smashed burgers or anything like that. They're actually like thicker patties. And take a look here at their Instagram page, and you can, take a look at what they've got to offer. But yeah, they serve out these burgers, and I think for a while they were kind of going back and forth. They were out in like Atlanta, Georgia for a while, and they would make visits out here. But through some great effort, they actually were offered a spot at the original farmers market. So I don't remember the stall that they took over, but I think I just happen to remember it's stall 126. So if you or someone happens to remember what used to be there, that'd be good to know. Maybe a Google search would do me good. But yeah, but I just ordered a simple menu, a thick burger, and an order thick fries, which are just kind of thick cut fries. And yeah, I mean, I think they're still in this kind of, at least when I went, they're going through this still kind of soft opening phase. But if they hadn't already, they kind of ramped up to grand opening, and yeah, they're there. They'll be there. So I think it's a good place if you want to stop by for a burger. There are a few other, stalls and that sell burgers as well. But this is something that I think focuses squarely on burgers. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of a nice change for some that, we've seen a lot of the smash burgers we talk about. The burgers we talk about are a lot of smash burger style. So this might be a nice change. And I mean, yeah, can't complain. It was a great taste, great burger, great flavor. And yeah, can't really complain. I'm glad it's a welcome addition to the farmers market. So, if you guys are out there, I mean, pay them a visit. It's really happy that they're out there. So that's Thick Burger. The next spot I wanted to mention, and to also give an important announcement that I have gone vegan.
I'm sorry. Impossible.
Maybe not quite vegan, but technically, I embrace vegan lifestyle. And
you do not. You never did. You never will.
Well, this might change your mind. This next spot I want to talk about is a pop-up called Shell's Pizza Company, and I've heard about them from a few places, but a friend of mine, Jose, reminded me recently, reminded me about them, put them back on my radar, and I think they are a pop-up that came up as a result of the pandemic, and they make a pan style pizza. So think Detroit style. So kind of that kind of taller, thicker, sourdough or that type of, with a crispy edge, in a square pan. But I think what kind of they've kind of set themselves apart here is a term that they've put together called Hokkaido pan pizza. So you see this Japanese influence of this Hokkaido style, the milk bread that you get right from Japan, and implementing that in this pan pizza. So while I don't think there were any complaints about a good Detroit style pizza, a good pan pizza already, I think I don't know, this approach with Hokkaido, as they call it, was I don't know, I think got people's attention. I think they managed to achieve still that great rise and texture of a good pan pizza, while not incorporating, those seemingly staple ingredients. So I'm very impressed. I don't know. I mean, look, I enjoy this. I think this was the item that I tried. It's like kind of an original recipe, the special. So, uses that Hokkaido, and then you've got a cheese blend, some bacon, pepperoni, onion, jalapeno, pineapple, serrano, and some pizza, some zesty pizza sauce as they have it.
Okay.
But so anyway, I ordered that. So they serve out of this kitchen out, kind of out in South LA area, and it's actually kind of a shared space. Well, it's a large building, a collection of separate of different kitchens that different vendors and restaurants will prepare and cook out of, and then in this case, you can stop by there to pick up your order. So, yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting take on a pan pizza, and it's quite good, I gotta say.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
So like I said, see, I'm not again. I'm with it. The vegan lifestyle, right?
So you'd go, I mean, sure. So you'd go back then, try it or have it again.
I would definitely try it again. I'd definitely go back. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Now, granted, again, I just say that, but again, you heard me list off the ingredients. There's bacon and pepperoni on there. Yeah. But they got a mushroom. They got a veggie. They got a Sicilian sauce. I mean, it's yeah, it's great. So,
worth going. Worth trying at least.
Give it a try.
Yeah. Good.
Next spot to mention is TikTok is like a wealth of, or a rabbit hole or something. Yeah. I don't know, but in this case, I think it was a wealth of knowledge for the better.
Okay.
There's a lot of there are a lot of food accounts out there, a lot of food content.
That is true.
And I forget from which. I have to look up. I'd have to share which one I found it from. But from one of them, they highlighted this place that's, I think, originally out in the South LA area. But there is a location out in Carson. It's a burger restaurant called Fresh and Meaty Burgers. And as the name implies, they are fresh and meaty burgers. It's a burger restaurant, right?
Well,
in case you didn't catch that. But yeah, I mean, I think these are also like kind of thicker, burgers, like larger. And yeah, I think with here, I think they serve beef and they also serve turkey burgers, which they're actually quite known for. But with me, I just got the beef burger. So yeah, they were larger. They were it was quite filling, I gotta say, especially with a side of fries but yeah, it was a decent burger. So and they've been around for quite a while. So surprisingly, so I think just happy to kind of find out and probably try it out again. But that's fresh and meaty. And then lastly, I wanted to kind of revisit a place, or just bring up again a place that I have visited quite a bit, and we've talked about this place before. It's a restaurant called Pick Your Plate, and they're out in Hawthorne. It's a Filipino restaurant, and it's very casual, fast food style. So as you know, fast food style with Filipino is kind of the cafeteria style, right? You can you line up, along a pane of glass, with a line of different dishes laid out behind the glass, and you just kind of pick the dishes that you want. And then they'll, ladle it on a plate, not a large container or something, and you can enjoy it there or take it with you. So we've been coming here for lunch, on days we're at work, and it's been just whenever we come, it's a great experience. The owners or whoever's serving there is always very kind and very welcoming, both regular and new faces. And there are definitely a lot of regulars. I don't think if we didn't go, I don't think they'd be hurting for business. Let's put it that way. I mean, they kind of found their niche, but
nice.
They, and on top of that, the food they serve is actually very good. I mean, not that I'd be surprised, but it's actually quite good home style cooking, So sometimes there's usually going to be like, your staples, I think, that you'll typically have there. I think a lot of times we'll usually see like the adobo. They have pork adobo and chicken adobo. But then they'll also, depending on the day or the week, they'll serve out different items. They'll cook sometimes some items that were kind of unexpected, not that I wouldn't have expected to be in the menu. Like, for example, today they actually served gumbo. And
nice. You've just been itching for that.
I think.
How convenient.
But actually,
you once more inserted your agenda into your lunch with whoever you're with.
Well, it's not like well, everyone picks their own. I mean, it's not like I'm buying for the whole thing. You pick your own plate, but to be honest,
at the same time, was it your suggestion of a place?
Well, of course. But it's not like I knew that they were serving it out there. That day. You don't know what the menu is. We don't know what the menu is until we.
I still don't believe you.
I know you don't.
Just so convenient.
And surprising, actually, to your surprise, I actually didn't order the gumbo. A coworker of mine did, and I tried a little bit of it, and I mean, I could barely try because he finished the whole thing. I mean, he really enjoyed it. You
convinced him to try it, so you can try it.
He tried it on his own. I didn't have to impose my own views, and
not explicitly, but implicitly, it was.
There's some subconscious, subliminal messaging or something too.
Probably.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't doubt it. So, but so like I said, you'll have some dishes there that kind of just surprise you, to be honest. But things like other, common, or well-known dishes like, chicken apertada or bistec or, sinigang, things like that. A lot of staples, a lot of comfort foods. And then, but they are rotating this menu, and, I'm just quite happy to, see them there. And they're a small operation. I think like the space itself probably doesn't hold more than like 30 people, and that's kind of a tight fit. And there are days like, for example, there's like a day of the week when they serve out the lechon, the pork, the roasted pork, and that day there's almost always a large line, people lining up for that. And so on days when we happen to be there on that day, we want to make sure that we get there like either as soon as they open.
Before.
I mean, we don't like wait in line or anything. It's not that kind of place where we need to do that.
Okay.
But I know that if we do get there a little later, there's already a line, and so we do have to wait through that. So if we get there, earlier, then we have a better chance, at least to brave the line. And like I said, we're there, I think, fairly often enough where they are friendly with us. They recognize us. And there are other people there. There are other regulars there that we've kind of recognized as well. So that have definitely been, going there for much longer. So I thought that was quite nice. So it's nice to support, local business, and also, just one of those places that, serves really good food and has really good hospitality. So that's Pick Your Plate out in Hawthorne. So yeah. Anyway, I wanted to keep talking about some food. I hope that's okay. And
is there anything else to discuss?
I don't think so. At least here, I don't think so. But speaking of, more food, I want to thank you, and thank you to, our audience, I guess. As you recall, they are our few and only fans, honestly, that join us every time we talk about some of our food adventures, these local spots and pop-ups with good food and good people. So thank you again to our few and only fans. So without you, we would not be here.
I'm so sorry.
Today I wanted to kind of get into a food group that we all know too well, and that I've had the pleasure of exploring a little more recently, and that is the food group of barbecue. And certainly, when we talk about barbecue here, we've discussed in the context of Texas style barbecue, and that's what we are coming up with again. So I had the chance to visit the city of Dallas recently, and the only reason why I would go to Texas, as it seems as of late, is for barbecue. I really don't think there's really any other compelling reason for me to go out there. Not that it isn't, not because it isn't a fun destination to be at. I mean, we've been to Austin, right? And I visited as well on my own. I visited Houston. And actually I was in Dallas in a previous visit, not, back, I think it was in 2019, visiting with, with our good friend Abe Delgado and some other friends there. And while we were visiting, we took a day trip, kind of visit out to Dallas, Fort Worth area. And we visited several spots out there. I'd listed here, just to recall, there was Derek Allen's, Panther City, Zavala's, some very good names. There were several other places we visited while we were on that trip, outside of Dallas, Fort Worth, but those were the places in that area while we were there. And, I just want to start by saying that it's definitely, I think I've mentioned this before, it's definitely better to enjoy barbecue with other people. To try to tackle it alone is an endeavor in itself. And you'll see why as we kind of show you and talk about some of the places that I visited. But yeah, if you do tackle it alone, it better be because you do have the appetite and enthusiasm.
Order less,
There is no less. You cannot.
You don't need the beef rib in addition to all the other meats that you're getting, right?
We'll get to that, all right? Slow your roll, okay?
I guess that's been a problem this trip.
All right. Well, let's move right along with this.
Oh no.
So in planning this trip, this is definitely one of those trips where it's really like it's food first. Not that the other trips haven't been food first or whatever, but this is where like everything I do on this trip really revolves around these food places.
Every trip you go, come on now.
Yes, but more so this, because in other trips it's like, oh yes, I would also like to visit this non-food place, right? This attraction or this show or whatever. But in this case,
you're with us. If you're in Austin,
so you're saying
just yourself.
there's some influence there, some peer pressure. Yeah. Okay. You're saying otherwise, I would just go all out.
Yeah, all food all the time. If you were in Austin by yourself instead of when we went,
right,
there would be no hike or walk, as it were. Right. There'd be no any extracurricular activities, just food and recovery time.
That's a good point. Yeah, in this case, it was food first. Yeah, I mean, I found good things to do, fun things, not food related. But that came like well an afterthought. Okay, well after.
Yeah, shouldn't have come at all.
Yeah,
it's time you could have spent getting more food.
Yeah, what a waste. But like you said, there is a period of recovery that needs to happen, some rest.
There.
And I'll talk about that. I mean, it was okay. Let's just go into this.
Oh boy.
But in planning this trip, there are several places that have come up since my last visit, either that have already been established and just come to attention, or just places I've heard about and just have wanted to visit. And actually, there was so much that unfortunately I didn't get to visit every single thing. Not out of not a lack of trying, but just in some cases the willpower just gets. Yeah, so I don't know, but
Texas broke you. Dallas broke you.
I don't know, broke me, but it definitely pushes the limit. I'll tell you that. Wow. Especially as a solo traveler. So, but yeah. So, but as far as these places, we're going to tackle a couple of the places that we visited, and just like the New Orleans trip, there's so much that we'll have to probably save some for another time. But I think these are some of the heavy hitters that we got to enjoy and emphasize on heavy. So the first spot we want to talk about is a restaurant called Cadillac Barbecue. So Cadillac and these places that we're going to talk about today fall under the Texas Monthly Top 50 list, and we kind of brought it up previously. This is a list that's curated by some editors of Texas Monthly magazine, particularly a team headed by Daniel Vaughn, and they update this list. I think, I think I did look into it. I think this list is supposed to be updated every 2 years. But yes, following the guidance of the 2021 list, this was the first stop. So one of these places, or again, part of the planning too was knowing when these places are open, because at least from my experience with these, some of these spots, they might only be open for like, 3 or 4 days out of the week, and with that, they are open for only a certain number of hours, and they might sell out before then. So you kind of have to strategize where you want to go, based on the place's popularity. And, there's that, kind of a factor of, knowing when to go. Cause even if they're open for certain set hours, like they advertise 11 to 4 or whatever, they might sell out before then, or you might get there later and the line is still very long and you may not get the food that you want. They might have run out of certain things. So, you need to know which spot you want to hit up and get there early, or, at a certain time that would work for you, so you can get the best chance of getting the food that you want. Right. So, but this first spot is, I guess falls number 6 on the top 50. And this is Cadillac Barbecue, and they're out in Dallas. And this was a spot that came to mind, and they have quite an offering. I think they were only open for, I think I was lucky because I don't think they were open. Oh man, I totally forgot their hours already, but they weren't supposed to be open necessarily. They only open for Saturdays, like on the first Saturday of the month or something like that. Let's see. I'm looking at the hours here. Yeah, look, they're only supposed to be open Thursday and Friday. You know, so it's like, what? But on their website, they also mentioned that they actually open on the first Saturday of each month.
And you knew that before you booked this flight, or no?
Yeah, I did. I found out about it, when I was planning this out. So, I mean, if I didn't get to try them out, I guess, that's just the way it was. There are plenty of other places I could have easily could have visited, but thankfully in this case, they were open. This was over that first weekend, the Labor Day weekend. So, they were open. So I definitely put them on there. So since that was the only day they'd be open, while I'm there, then that's a priority, right? I need to hit them up. So, as I'm planning, since I'm like preparing myself, I'm like, I don't know, I'm settling in, flying in and getting settled and everything. Like I'm just kind of planning, like anticipating what I'm going to expect. And of course, like the number one thing that comes to mind, honestly, is just kind of reliving the line culture. Because I know with a lot of these places that the line is going to, it's going to matter. I mean, it's going to, you snooze, you lose or something, like you're going to pay for not showing up early or on, if you're on time, you're late. It's one of those things, So, but yeah, I arrived like around 9:00. They open at 10, right? So that's like an hour, right? And I thought, it's not that bad. Sometimes, like, there's certain restaurants, right, that, like for example, back in the day at Howland, right, they opened at a certain time, and we knew that if we got there like maybe an hour and a half early, we would wait that hour and a half till open, but we'd only have to wait like 15, 20 minutes, to get our food, right? Mm-hmm. So we spend all that time. Similarly, like that's kind of the trade-off you have here. How long are you willing to wait, and how early are you willing to get there so you can wait a certain time, and then wait for that line in front of you to clear up and whatever to get your food. So in this case, there were about like 30 people ahead of me, already. And, the building, could line up around. I think this is maybe an example. I don't know if it's the best. There were other pictures. I think they're on my phone. I'd have to pull up, but this is kind of an example, so this is a kind of a side of the building, and I was probably closer towards, the back, at the start. So all these people that are lined up and around the corner, about 30 people deep, and it's cool. I want to just kind of jump in and say that you can see in this picture that there's actually young guy here that's, providing like live music. I mean, like I don't know, it's Texas. Is it Texas way or something? Or they take their music pretty seriously, but they got this guy here. He's like, I don't know, like 12 or something. I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He's super young. But he's got a really good voice. He's playing good songs, good cover songs. And, he's a real professional, honestly. So it really helped pass the time. People are giving him tips. People are, obviously liking, really into it. But anyway, I get there. And so there's that many people. And then, by the time I think that they open, I think there's like easily another 20, 30 behind me, and, so that line has just grown, probably doubled, in length. So, it's going to be a busy day. And again, the fact that they're only open the first, as part of the schedule, first Saturday of every month, which is a very interesting take. Kind of tells you that this is serious business. No, they're not. These people aren't messing around. So, yeah, someone comes out from the restaurant to just kind of give some announcements, just kind of give people a little idea of like what to expect, line waiting, what to order. They usually have rotations or specials that they rotate. And we'll see some of that here pretty soon. But yeah, but from the time they opened to getting in line and waiting for all the other people, that was probably I'd say another hour, maybe hour plus to order and get your food. So yeah, I mean, just like any other like Texas barbecue restaurant that that we've been to, at least, you see that they cut they cut to order. So as for the plate itself and the platter, this is what I ended up getting. This is a plate of various meats, and I think part of the challenge of tackling barbecue as a solo traveler, solo diner, for me at least, you almost always have to get what they call the Texas Trinity, right? Which is brisket, ribs, and sausage, right? So those three you can't do without. But on top of that, they had announced some specials for that day, and I'm not sure. I have to kind of take a deeper look, I guess, as to what happens when someone says that you've got something on special or for a limited time or something. It does something to you,
The McRib.
The McRib, exactly.
It's how they get you.
It's how they get you. There's that,
the FOMO.
Exactly, the FOMO, the scarcity, and all that. So on special, they had a beef rib, a pastrami beef rib, and pork steak. We'll get into those a little bit. But that was a plate. So that was a total of 5 different proteins, right? And then a couple of sides. We have some mac and cheese and some coleslaw. We see here some of the things like pickled red onion and pickles and other pickled vegetables here, and some dessert, which we'll see as well. But this is one plate. This is one plate. This is one plate from one place for one guy. Okay.
For the first meal there. Please tell me you have cardio in your routine somewhere. Please tell me you're going to work cardio into your routine somewhere at some point.
Well, I drive a car. You have to drive a car throughout to get to where you need to go, right? That counts.
Start walking, please. At the very least, goddamn.
Well, let's go through this plate. So the first we've got is the brisket. So that's in this picture. It's here up on kind of the right side, kind of top right. It's about a 1/3 pound, so one slice, and that's a slice of fatty brisket. It was quite moist, and I'd say it's almost perfect. I say almost because even though it has a good amount of fat, good amount of chew, it was almost a little too chewy. Some of the fat had mostly rendered out. There was still some part here along the bottom portion, I think, that may have needed to either cook a little longer or just something to tenderize it a little bit more. But it was a strong start. I mean, like, it was a good. I'm not knocking it because it is a good slice. Okay. The ribs were great, no complaints, great flavor. With a good rib, you want a good chew to it. I mean, like, there's great when it falls off the bone and all that and that thing, but there needs to be a little texture to it. So you can get a chew out of it. It's a sign of a good rib. So no complaints there. And then they, for the sausage, they offered a few different ones. This was a jalapeno cheddar. It's a more mild kind of heat, but it's a good sausage too. Great snap, great flavor, nice and cheesy, inside. So, with those three alone, I would have been fine. That would have been more than, and then even with the sides and the dessert, that would have been perfect. Right. But
so why did you order more?
Because they were on special.
Oh, what does that even mean?
It means exactly what I said. So the next thing we wanted to talk about was the beef rib, the pastrami beef rib. So the pastrami beef rib was an item on special. You can tell it's like brined. It's got this pink hue on there. I'm going to tell you right now, it was good, but not as good as I thought I'd wanted it to be. It's only because
were set too high because it was special.
Maybe because the pastrami flavor really didn't come through as strongly in my case.
Oh.
I'm not saying that it wouldn't have come through for others, but I think in my case that I was just taste, so there you go. Looks aren't everything, right? You can brine something and it can take up that color, but just something just kind of fell short, to be honest, on that beef rib. And similar to the brisket, maybe some of that fat still needed to render out a little more. The beef flavor was there, right? But the pastrami part of it was still somewhere to be found. So, but hey, I tried it and it was on special. So I had to get it, right? Right? Please answer me. Okay.
No.
The last protein is the pork steak. So, pork steak's not something that we usually see here. Whether in, some of the Texas barbecue places we've tried or just in this area, it's not even as common an item in the Texas barbecue offerings. Usually it might be a regional special or just, something they kind of do as a one-off thing. Actually, the most popular, most well-known example, at least for me, is the pork steak that they offer at Snow's Barbecue. So, the
your future wife,
right? That's Tootsie, the pitmaster there. She is known for among the many other smoked meats is this pork steak. So pork steak is as the name kind of implies, it's just think of a steak. I think they've kind of compared it to like a ribeye, so maybe like a thicker cut meat with that marbling and that kind of nice density there, but in the form of pork. So that was in this view. You could kind of see it here in this portion. I don't even know.
Oh,
this is all out over the place, but that's the pork steak right there. And then this is the portion of it that's, it's cut into. So it's quite good. So I had no real complaints. With that said, as I just mentioned, the best example I know is from Snow's.
Mm-hmm. So
I should have just kept it that way.
Oh, really?
Not that this wasn't good. Actually, it was great. I enjoyed it very much, but I'm just saying that I would have been okay, right, with the 3. Right, with the 3. I would have been just fine with the 3. But
called it.
That's
From
not
the first place. You already messed up.
That's just not the way things work, I don't want to say I messed up, but it was a bit ambitious, I will say. So to oh yeah, the sides though, this mac and cheese.
Rice?
No, it's coleslaw.
Okay.
Yeah. So but for the sides we have the mac and cheese, which is like they have the shell shaped noodles in a more creamy cheese sauce.
Nice.
It hits. I mean, like, it's great. No complaints there. Nice creamy cheese sauce, a little peppery, and yeah, it's a good thing. I don't know. I forgot if we discussed if there's a superior noodle for the mac and cheese. I mean, we always default to the elbow, but is there in fact a superior noodle for mac and cheese? You have any thoughts
the shells?
On like these?
Huh.
Oh, okay.
Because you can have like little like pockets of cheese inside of a shell.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's nice. More surface area, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then a potential cup of cheese in there.
Yeah, little cups of there. Okay.
Yeah.
Good thought. And then we have
yours?
No, I don't know. I was just thinking. I don't know if I have a go-to, honestly, but that is a good thought. And then the coleslaw, it's a good coleslaw. I mean, it's a little lighter, more vinegary, but not so super intense. So it's just a good way to kind of, balance out all this protein. And then to kind of round it all off, then there's dessert as well. So they have this dessert.
I'm curious.
That they call the crack cake. Yeah. So the crack cake is like I think, I was looking it up, and it's there are recipes for a crack cake, which is like a bundt cake. So if you know that texture of a bundt cake, I don't know if it's necessarily that texture. It kind of is, but I think it's a little more moist than a bundt cake. I feel like there is a regional dessert from St. Louis, of all places, called the ooey gooey cake, which, as the name implies, it's like a really wet, moist, cake. But it's like kind of in the middle, Okay. It's not as crazy, but.
So it's not a tres leches. No,
not at all. But it's got great flavor. It's got this, you can see like on the top, like this kind of shattered, crispy, top layer here, like with sugar and things like that. So it's a good cake. I mean, it's a great way to help, again, like kind of round out all the proteins that you've just consumed, including a pastrami beef rib, and some pork steak on top of that. So,
an extra 3 pounds of meat.
Yeah, basically. Well, yeah, because it could be close, because the trinity, the brisket, ribs, and sausage, is probably close to a pound. And then the beef rib itself, you have to order the rib, right?
A whole rib.
Yeah. And so that averages, with the bone, would average like 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds, and then the pork steak, it's half a serving of pork steak. So, but yeah, that'd be like close to 0.5 pound. So in other words, you're dead. All right.
That's why I'm asking if you were doing cardio.
Like I said, use a car, drive around, and you call it a day. Anyway, but this bundt cake, yeah, it's really, just think of like a really intense, like a yellow cake, right? But with like heavy on good amount of butter, sugariness and sweetness in there. It is it's over the top. It's like an over the top bundt cake. But yeah. I don't know. I think I can't say I've had something like it. Maybe I have, but it's just a nice, addition to have on there. Make sure you're not dying. So I think, but that was over at Cadillac. So, in and out, probably there about, let's see, from 9 to about 11, maybe like 2.5 hours or something like that, from start to finish. So yeah, again, in this case, I enjoyed the meal overall. Again, the specials, I don't know. I guess it was probably a case of the FOMO, but I can say that I tried it, and but I think from, the core, I guess, the core meats, those were great, and I think it, there's a reason why they're there on the top 50 or something on that. So that's pretty good. So, and yeah, easily, like, even when I was, leaving, there was still a strong line. I mean, like, just,
good.
Down the building and around the corner and everything. So it's definitely a popular place. So can't go wrong there. Cannot go wrong. So, to be honest, I was already done by that first meal. But I had
so you finished it there, all that plate.
All that? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's done. Okay. Yeah. And that put me over the top. I mean, I was done. I mean, like, put me in the grave, that whole thing.
And yet there's more.
And yet there's more. Okay. I had, my original plan. I had 3 places lined up for this day. Okay. So this was stop 1.
You were planning to order that much from what? Is it that much from every place? Huh?
Well, we'll get to the next spot. I was, like I said, this already pushed me to my limit. Like, I didn't want to, I don't know. It was going to be tough to try to brave through really anything else. Mm-hmm. But I'm not a quitter. So, I forged on. Actually, so I did have like 3 places lined up, but I ended up going to this next spot out in the area of Grand Prairie, and this is a restaurant called Zavala's, and I did mention that earlier. And Zavala's kind of lies a little bit what direction? West of Dallas. Not quite exactly in the middle of Fort Worth and Dallas, but it's like kind of en route closer to Dallas. And Zavala's is also in the top 50, and I have visited them before when I was visiting with Abe, and I decided I want to visit it again. The guy has a fascinating story. He's kind of had to overcome a lot of adversities. The owner kind of had to overcome a lot of health issues and things like that, and but he's in the end, he still made, he's still around, and he still made some great barbecue, and he's just a really energetic, great guy. His name is Joe, I believe, and you should try Zavala's. So they're out in this small city called Grand Prairie. I don't know if the Google will help me, but that's just kind of look at their facade outside. But I had the chance to try them out before, so I wanted to try them out again. And I think I really, because of my grand inaugural meal, I don't know if I didn't really have, admittedly, a lot of space, I guess, to I wanted to make sure I still enjoyed a meal without hating myself. But I know, but in this case, so I did go and I did order something, and this is what I ordered. This is what you call a Tex-Mex plate, and the Tex-Mex plate serves basically like 2 tacos, served on flour tortillas with the choice of, whatever proteins they have on hand. So in this case, I ordered a taco with beef cheeks, and then another taco with something they call the almost carnitas, which is basically their pulled pork, but it's seasoned to like a carnitas flavor. So and then they serve it with beans and some what is that, cheesy? I want to say it's hominy.
That's it? That's all you got?
Yeah, that was it.
Wow.
but it was a sizable dish. Those were larger tacos, and those flour tortillas were, were pretty good. Not
Nice.
your run of the mill taco. I mean, they were nice and soft, and it holds up to the meats pretty well. Yeah, I had to take my time. Even while I was there, I did finish this plate, but I did have to take my time. Started off with the beef cheeks. Beef cheeks were nice and tender, and some people get turned off by beef cheeks because if they're prepared in a certain way, they might be too slimy, actually, that texture. But this was prepared really well, very tender and very intense beef flavor, just as I kind of remember them from the previous visit. So they were just as good. And then the carnitas, the almost carnitas, which is the pulled pork. So it's definitely got a pulled pork texture, but you can definitely taste like the carnitas flavor in there. So, we have great carnitas here. Many great examples of where to find good carnitas. But it was kind of nice to kind of see that brought over in this, in this kind of serving. So, yeah, I had no complaints. It's just that I was already dying, so I wanted to make sure I could say that I tasted something and still enjoyed a meal, and so it was pretty good. It was a good meal. So, but honestly, after that, I was done. That was that.
Were you though?
Admittedly, I was. I had another place, that I don't remember if it was a place that I was going to revisit or first time, but I just couldn't. I was done. So I went back to my hotel and I just knocked out for the rest of the day.
That was all of day one?
Yeah, I mean, like the rest of that day, like I did wake up like later that day, and then I did some non-food things, so that's not interesting. So, because I that was it. I think I had hit my limit. I had to just kind of wait for the next day.
Oh,
yeah. So the
and
next.
you say you don't remember what the third place was gonna be?
Let me see. There was a spot called Brick's Barbecue, and it's a new place, or a place I hadn't been to, and they're really like a popular up and coming kind of restaurant. I think they recently got a brick and mortar, so I was gonna try them out, but unfortunately I just couldn't. So I was I'll have to try again next time.
Next time, yeah. Another reason to go.
Yeah, next time I'm going to bring you along with me, okay? And we're just going to conquer this together. I think we can definitely deal more damage with this.
We'll see.
I think we can do it. I think if we shared what I had ordered for myself,
we'd be fine.
That would be fine, yeah. And we could visit all the places. Come with relatively comfortably. That'd be fine.
Yeah, I can see that.
The next spot we wanted to talk about is this is in fact, I guess, the number one spot of the Texas Monthly Top 50, and that comes at number one with Goldie's. And so Goldie's is a restaurant there on the Fort Worth side, and they opened in
2020.
Yeah, before the pandemic, actually.
Crazy.
And what's very interesting about this restaurant, or at least the people that make it up, and you kind of see in the description if you read it in the article, that they all come from some of the the most well-known barbecue places, like Franklin's, La Barbecue, Micklethwait, Valentina's. Those are the places they list, but yeah, that's where they're coming from. And some of those names you might know, but people who are in the know, they know that those are big names. Those are serious names in barbecue. So For these guys to come together to, make their own spot is a big deal. And
The Avengers of barbecue.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. The Avengers of barbecue assemble. That's great. So I guess according to the piece that they opened again in February 2020, just before, everything just kind of went down with that pandemic. And so they kind of had to do the takeout kind of route. It's like all the other restaurants, but thankfully they were able to hang on and then reopen. When they did reopen, people just poured in droves, and they showed up, and for good reason. I mean, they made some of the best barbecue that Texas has seen for a while. And in previous lists, number one would have, that even for a couple of years ago, maybe for the last list or two, you see a totally different offering. It's a totally different list. The places like Franklin's and Snow's and things, they're still here on this list, but they're not, and they're still top 10, but yeah, we have new blood in here. It's quite an interesting sight to see.
Yeah. Well, as it should be, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So similarly, this was a spot where I knew or anticipated that, there would be a lot of, there'd be waiting involved. Mm-hmm. But I think since I was still dying from the previous day, I don't know, something came over me and said, I think I can manage to...
To what? To moderate your order, or to order just as much?
Well, not really to the order, but more on how early I should show up. So,
I see.
So I think one thing for some reason I overlooked a little bit was how early I should show up. Like what kind of situation was this going to be? Me waiting an hour at Cadillac or arriving an hour before, mm-hmm. And maybe, going through about an hour plus in line from opening. I think that was fine. But I wasn't sure what to expect at Goldie's. And for whatever reason, it's actually on their website. They do have some tips on like what to expect, and what you should try to plan for when you're doing this. So,
yeah. So you didn't do your Franklin's thing where you were there at like 5 or 6 a.m.?
No, but no, I didn't. But that's basically what a lot of people end up doing. They go there like super early. And somewhere on their website and some other places that, you kind of look up people like discussing this stuff. Here's the good to know thing. Like, we recommend showing up between 8 and 10 a.m., right? Guarantee full menu. But that's not necessarily telling you like how early you should show up to be like first in line, Yeah. There are people I understand that arrive, like Franklin's, like as early as like 6 o'clock, 6, 7, I don't know, some crazy early time. Say 6 o'clock. Mm-hmm. For a place that opens at 11, I want to say. So you're waiting, right? I mean, let me just show you a little bit of like what that looks like. This was not the entire view, but you can kind of see a portion of the view of the line. But you can see some people that are lined up here in front of the building, right? And this line is actually kind of snaked along in like 3 parts. There's like three different rows of people that are lined up. And all these chairs, this comes from like a very Franklin place in that these chairs are available. You can kind of see them like up here. You see this like little trough here, the storage area. Mm-hmm. That's where all the chairs, like those are donated and whatever. That's a very Franklin's thing. So people can grab a chair and sit down and wait. I wasn't in that position. There are no chairs and there's no space to do that kind of thing for me. I'm just standing. And I tried to count, and there was close to no kidding, like 70 to 80 people ahead, like this line that snakes along up to the front of the building. It's easily that many people.
What time did you get there? Approximate?
Thank you. So I got there like just around 10. Oh. So about an hour before, right? Thinking, oh, how bad could it be? That was a poor decision
for the number one barbecue.
Exactly. The meat sweats from the previous spots really got to me. It's crazy. Brain. Yeah. So that's where it'll get you. Getting an hour before will land you about 80, ahead 80 of you. Deep. But I'm going to tell you that even so, there were still people lining up like closer to opening. Still people behind. There's easily like, by the time they open, there's like at least 40 to 50 people behind me. Now this line, it compressed, like when they close to opening, the line compresses, right? Because people are going to put away the chairs. They're going to stand up. They're going to like huddle closer to each other. So this space kind of gets cut in about half, as far as like how much, space the line is taken up. So you better at least you better be there early enough so you can still get a bit of shade in the beginning. So yeah, thankfully that was the case. But yeah, that's something else. I mean, like this line is like no joke, right? But yeah, when and similarly, someone will come out, they will kind of make the announcements, they will kind of share what to expect, what they have available, how, like some housekeeping and etiquette and things like that. So from opening, so again, I waited there with about an hour, right? And then from opening, I probably waited at least maybe an hour and a half, I want to say.
Okay. That's not
so
too bad,
the line actually, yeah, it gets, they turn the line over pretty quickly. They're serving again, they're still cutting to order, no doubt, but they're really quick.
Yeah. And even after that hour and a half, they still had the full menu.
Yes, thankfully.
Nice.
So what they've said and what I've understood is that from opening, you give it till about 1 or 2 o'clock. So about a couple hours until the first, sign when they start running out of stuff. So I think around, I want to say maybe around 1:30, I had heard that they had started, or they were running down on the last like brisket or something like that. So they were going to run out pretty soon. So yes, to what you said, I still got a chance to like get a little bit of everything.
Nice.
So now, as far as what that looks like, well, let's take a look.
Boy. Here we go. How many beef ribs? Huh? What was on special for the day?
Well, I don't know if there was anything special per se, but this is what the plate looked like. So, yeah,
that's surprisingly tame.
It's pretty modest, but we still have a variety. We still have a variety of proteins here.
Why'd you get bird?
Well, bird is the word, Let's go through that a little bit. So this is a platter of, I think, the typical proteins that they offer. Let's just start off with the brisket. The brisket is definitely a star player. It is fat. This was they both gave fatty and lean cuts. The fatty was thick. It was easy to cut through, and it's just enough to melt in the mouth. This was a good example of a fatty brisket. Like I said, I enjoyed the brisket from Cadillac, but like comparing that to this was definitely up there. Definitely supreme. So, yeah, great flavor, great beef. So even the lean The thing about lean is, the dangers that it can dry out, can get tough, but, both the fatty and the lean cuts were great, in flavor and in just texture. So, that's definitely something that I think people who like this, this kind of barbecue is like, they're probably looking for. So, the brisket was definitely on point. The ribs, looking at that, I don't know. That was definitely one of the highlights there too. I love the brisket, but I think the ribs were definitely like a noteworthy, like, kind of standout, because it, in addition to like just having a good cook on them, nice tender chewy bite, it had a nice, there's like a sweet finish to that. So it's something that, it's not something you always get with this style of rib, in this barbecue. So to have a nice sweet finish in there is very welcome. So it's easy to, it was just easy to go through. So what we also have in here, it's not quite evident here, but there is some pork belly on here. Not necessarily like a burnt end pork belly, but it is a smoked pork belly. And what's really nice is that they serve this, you see there's this container with like a sauce in there. It's, I understand it's a peach tea kind of glaze that you can dip in there.
Ooh.
Yeah. If you remember, we went to Austin, right? We had those, oh no, you weren't with us. We had those pork belly. I
still had it.
You did. You're right.
Interstellar.
You're right. Yes.
It's good.
But you remember that flavor,
Yeah.
Just kind of remember that. I think the sweetness comes through a little more, but it's served separately here. And so you dip, the pork belly in there. Oh yeah. I mean, that hit the spot. That was a great bite too.
Nice.
The sausage, nothing to complain about that. It's just a good sausage, good chew, good snap. So no complaints there. Like I said, the bird is the word. I haven't found a place yet that I didn't like a smoked turkey, from a barbecue spot. So, this is definitely a great, super moist, tender, like great peppery, turkey. Again, a lot of influences you see, from these big, barbecue names, again, Franklin stands out, as one of those recognizable names. But all the other places that these guys have come from have, kind of really come through as well. What you see here as well, are these slices of bread. And, one thing
four
is 5.
One for each protein. That makes sense.
But here's the thing. The bread, apparently they make their own bread. I'm not sure where this came from, like, where this idea or this practice came from, but they make their own bread and it's good. I mean, it's, it's not like stodgy. It's not overwhelmingly like, bready or anything. I thought I was, I didn't ask for this. This comes with, right? Usually I don't ask for bread because I don't need it. Maybe like one slice at most, but usually I'm cutting through all the proteins with like all the vegetable, like the pickle and whatever. But they serve this, so I'm gonna take it. It was so easy to go through. Like it was not overdone, overwhelming at all. So I could enjoy these with any cut of meat. Brisket, rib, the pork belly. I could easily eat that with these. The only thing, interestingly enough, is like they won't give you more. Like whatever, I think that's all. Whatever you get, that's what you get. But it's plenty, at least for me. And it was a great was a great addition, I think, to the plate. So a nice kind of way to set themselves apart, distinguish themselves, to make their own bread. Yeah, I don't know, just a nice. Light, plushy bread on the outside. On the inside. The outside is, it's got that nice crust. It's not hard, but it's got a little bit of texture to chew through.
Okay.
But it holds up well. Yeah, it doesn't disintegrate like some other white breads or whatever that you would get off the shelf. So I'm glad they kind of, it's nice that they kind of think about that kind of thing.
Okay. And is that bread pudding that you have as well? Yeah,
the desserts we have.
Is it that bread?
No, it is. I'm just saying this is. I'm laughing because this. So they usually serve banana pudding, which we have here as well. Underneath
below, yeah.
But the bread pudding is something they serve only on Sundays.
Sundays, yeah.
So technically, it is
convenient.
A special for a Sunday. So of course,
I guess so.
I'm gonna get it. So I got both. I remember I only got one originally. I only got the banana pudding, but then I forgot what happened. I just froze and I just said, I'll just get the bread pudding as well. That's fine.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I think the other thing I wasn't going to get originally was you can see here there's this pickled jalapeno or something.
Oh, really?
That's actually an additional cost. I don't even know if I don't know if they make that themselves or they just kind of pull it from somewhere, but I said, yeah, just throw it in there. It's fine. Just get another one. And then the sides, you got to mention the sides. They're both very light and refreshing. The coleslaw and the potato salad. The coleslaw is more, it's a little more wet for a coleslaw. It's actually a little, I don't want to say this in a bad way, but the vegetables are actually a little soggy from the vinegar or the mix that they have in there, but not in a bad way.
That's what I like.
It's still got, you can still appreciate, some texture, some crunchiness in there. But you know what I'm talking about. There's just some of those coleslaws.
Yeah, the KFC coleslaw.
Okay. Yeah. Something.
I love KFC coleslaw.
Okay. Well, this is probably better than that, but
I'm sure. But if it's just the saucy, that's great. That's all I want.
Okay. But the potato salad is actually something I like too, because it had a nice mix of both finer pieces, smaller pieces of potato, mixed with slightly larger pieces. So there's a mix. So it's not all, and the potatoes themselves were very soft, and easy to just kind of chew through. So I think I really appreciated that. So a nice textural, variety there. And the potato salad wasn't a heavy, potato salad, because with potato, being a potato, starchiness and whatever, it can fill you up. But in this case, it's just a nice, addition, I think, to help round out and balance out, all the proteins and stuff that you're having. This plate, I got to say, I finished so quickly, or just not necessarily quick, but really easily, more easily than, but it's still a lot. This
is nothing to you.
This is nothing.
This is normal. Yeah.
This is 5 proteins as well, but I think it's I think it's the fact that it wasn't a large
beef rib.
Yeah. Right.
and a pork steak.
Dense. Well, again, it's, I think the total weight, right? All the proteins, definitely not as much, but
yeah.
This was definitely, I can see why this is the number one, or definitely among the best, and certainly up there as the number one. But this was a great plate. So they got seating inside, they have some tables outside, and then if it gets really crowded, there's some counter spacing outside as well. Didn't get that busy, but I think the tables are longer. They're and they're meant to be shared. So, you might for someone like me, I'll be sharing a table with like a couple or something. So yeah, but that was very, very good. So yeah, that's, Goldie's Barbecue, out there in the Fort Worth area. So, but yeah, that line is no joke. I will say though, I only just kind of, thinking about this anecdotally or whatever, just, there were obviously people that still came after, right? And probably, let's say they arrived. Yeah, I think there are people who arrived like still well after, like say it was 11 or like even 11:30, and they were probably just waiting about maybe the same amount, if not less than, let's say I waited when I got there, and obviously less than when some of those people showed up at 6:30 or whatever. Maybe not short, but there are some people that still arrived there. I think what I'm trying to say is that, and they could just wait like a quote unquote reasonable amount of time. And they still had a chance to get all the food. Like nothing had run out yet.
Good.
So again, there's like this balance, like people need to weigh out. Those people weren't thinking, they just show up or whatever. And they just, but there is a balance. Like you got to think, how long are you willing to wait beforehand to balance out with what you wait with, after they open and, the length of the line ahead of you. So clearly there are some scenarios where some people can show up after the fact. They wait an hour and a half, let's say, and they can still get their food. So, not bad. But that was Goldie's. So Goldie's is, definitely a great site. A great spot to, check out. So.
Yeah. I wonder where they're going to fall on the next monthly barbecue list. You think they'll still be top?
That's a good question. I could see them still being top 10 for sure. Okay. There are a lot of new and improved places that have come up.
Maybe that place you didn't go on the first day. What was it called?
Oh, Bricks.
Yeah, maybe Bricks will be in top 10 for next time. Who knows?
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, so those were just some of the places to visit out in Dallas Fort Worth. Cadillac, Zavala's, Goldie's, and there are a couple other places we're going to talk about. One more top 50 barbecue spot, and then we'll talk a bit about some burgers as well. So, but there's more to come. I mean, that was I got to tell you, that trip was a lot of fun. But yeah, just that first meal was definitely a little over the top, I got to tell you. So, like I said, I think it's definitely more enjoyable with maybe some other person as well to join you. Or maybe, like you said, just got to try to order a little less. I don't know. But
maybe no specials.
Yeah, maybe specials can be left as specials. And if you're a first-time visitor, just focus on the good stuff. Unless, I'd say unless it's like a dessert. The dessert, I'm glad I got them, right? I eat both desserts so quickly. Actually, I saved some like on my drive back or whatever from there. Like I just had some of the bread pudding and some of the banana pudding to finish off while I was driving. And
of course, California never leaves.
Nope, absolutely. So that was great. I enjoyed that. So there is more to come and more to enjoy. When do you think is when's the next time you think we'll be able to go out there, Mychow?
Texas?
Yeah.
I don't know. Not this year.
No, but I'm sure sometime soon. As long as you can give me some, you got to give me something here.
I don't know, man. All I know, we got stuff next year. I already got stuff planned out for next year.
All right, fine. Hopefully you'll find some time for us. Me.
Maybe.
Anyway, thank you for joining us. We've come to the end of another episode. We're excited to bring you more of our adventures with good food and good people. Reach out to here on Instagram. I'm at Dumb and Hungry. He's at my_chow. You can email us at hi@dumbandhungry.com, where you can send us your feedback and your love letters. Find the videos here on YouTube. Won't you like, subscribe, and smash? You can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever else fine podcasts are served. But until next time, I'm Angelo.
I'm Mychow.
And on your next food adventure, remember to try one of each. I know you thought we're done, but there is one thing I wanted to talk about as well.
Never done.
I know, and it's kind of out of the order of things. Not that people have to know. And this is not barbecue related. This is more Texas related. Where was I? I think I was. It was like towards the end of the day of like one of the days, maybe my third day there, and I just needed something sweet, and I had remembered that there was this kind of special, again, another special item that was kind of on sale for some Bluebell ice cream. But but specifically, I don't know if we've talked about it, amongst ourselves or at all, but Bluebell had this kind of limited edition Dr. Pepper flavor.
That sounds gross.
Does it?
I mean, I don't like Dr. Pepper in general, so yes, it sounds gross to me.
Oh wait, you don't like Dr. Pepper? That's interesting.
No.
I for some reason I didn't realize that. What? Why don't you like Dr. Pepper?
I don't know. It tastes weird. What is it supposed? It tastes like medicine.
Well,
it's probably the licorice flavoring.
It does come from the doctor.
Yeah, I need to check that medical license.
Might need to get them revoked. I don't know. I like Dr. Pepper. I think it's got that, it's that, what is that, sarsaparilla thing or whatever going on?
Maybe. I don't know. It's very medicine-y. Give me Burke's any day.
Burke's? The one of the bite. Nice. Not sponsored, by the way, but maybe one day.
Soon, I believe.
But
Dr. Pepper float.
The Dr. Pepper. So they've got this flavor. It's a creamy vanilla, ice cream. So we had Bluebell, right? When we came here to Austin, we had the original like vanilla ice cream, which is a nice kind of heavy custardy flavored, vanilla ice cream. No complaints there. But then I saw this thing about the Dr. Pepper thing, and I thought, yeah, I'd like to try it. And overall, it's fine.
Okay.
But I had to finish it.
Pepper.
No, I don't think. Well, I don't know.
You could take it home, yeah.
I don't want to blame the Dr. Pepper part of it, but like, I think the implementation. Maybe there's a certain reason. So there's two parts to it, at least to what I see. There's the vanilla ice cream, right, and then there's the Dr. Pepper part. So the vanilla ice cream, it's not the same like regular like original vanilla flavor. I was looking at the ingredients, and it says it uses skimmed milk. I'm like, there's your problem. That's why it's trash. No, I was kidding. That's why it's not quite up there. What I quite remember for vanilla. So it's kind of the lighter kind of like less intense vanilla flavor.
Yeah.
And then the Dr. Pepper part is, I guess it's a sherbet. Sherbet.
Oh.
I don't know. Sherbet. I don't know.
Sherbet.
Sure, why not?
Sorbet.
Yeah. So it's, it's not,
just frozen Dr. Pepper.
I imagine I wouldn't be surprised, but I feel like it's a little diluted, if you will.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
But maybe that's just, I feel like that's the deal, but it's it could be just frozen Dr. Pepper in there. I mean, there's no, extra cream added, right? It's not its own like unique formula of ice cream. It's just an addition, in there that's swirled in with the already diluted, vanilla.
Yeah.
But I will say I did enjoy it. So I think I had to buy it from they do sell Bluebell like everywhere, grocery store, convenience store, gas station, whatever. But you got to know, like, some places will have certain flavors. Like not every place will have like this Dr. Pepper flavor or whatever. So like I couldn't find it like at certain 7-Elevens or whatever I was looking at. So I ended up going to like a grocery store.
So what are they called?
No, well, I ended up going to a grocery store, but think of just like a tray, kind of, yeah. I mean, it's like a Ralph's Kroger type thing. It went by another name, but I think they're under that group.
I know which one you're talking about, but I don't remember what it's called.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now why? I mean, why?
I did a road trip once with my cousin and a couple of his friends. And a guy was in the military at Fort Worth for a few years.
Oh, okay.
And he said it's like that grocery store that he would go to.
Oh, cool.
It's like Ralph's, but not Ralph's. It's like, I know he said Kroger. It's like, no, but the same company.
I think it is the same company. So
I forgot because the logo looks exactly like Ralph's, just a different word.
Okay. Well, I know I'm going to remember what it is, and we'll
you better tell me, because this has been bothering me for years, not remembering what that is.
I'll say Ralph's, but not Ralph's.
Kroger. That's going to be the number one result.
Oh man, it's a different. It is definitely a different name. I just I don't quite remember offhand, and I don't know if I don't think I have like a picture of the store or whatever. We can look it up. We have time, right?
Do we? I've looked it up and it never showed up properly. I'll tell you that now.
I'm trying to remember. Okay, so I'm going to work my way kind of a little backwards here. Someone calling to you?
Market chain in Canada.
Yeah, it's a big market chain in Canada, apparently. Kroger specifically.
Oh, Kroger? Yeah, absolutely.
Well, apparently Kroger Canada is different than Kroger America. So, same logo.
So I don't know if this, I really don't know if this is the one you're looking at, but this is the chain or the store that I ended up at. It is called Tom Thumb. So
that is not the one I was thinking of.
Okay. Well, that's where I went.
Yeah, that doesn't help me.
You're still looking, still got that mystery of that grocery store all those years ago. But it is, I think it's under the Ralph's or, whatever, Safeway or whatever restaurant group that is. It is very similar. I think the signage and the offerings and stuff are like very similar. Like, yeah, you could easily confuse it for a Ralph's or something. Okay. Anyway, sorry it wasn't to what you were thinking, but I found the Dr. Pepper ice cream there.
Okay.
But anyway, it was and what was it? The smallest size that they had was a pint. So
okay.
I don't know.
Nothing.
It's nothing? Okay, good.
It's nothing. Pint. It's like this big.
Yeah. The only challenge technically was like, I needed a spoon or something to eat it. At this place.
And you didn't think of that before you left the store?
Well, no, I did. But the problem was like, I couldn't find a spoon. The only thing they had were forks.
They didn't have plastic spoons?
No. I mean, they would sell them like, I didn't want to buy a pack of spoon. Yeah. I just wanted an individual. Yeah. So as far as those, like they have forks. So Nah, I still manage with a fork.
Yeah, that's all you need. Just do it before it melts. You're fine.
Exactly. So
And if it does, you just drink it.
Yeah. So I don't know if people like really go crazy over this. Like I can see why it's good, but it's also like fine. You know.
Okay.
But I thought I'd mention it because I do kind of like it overall. The Bluebell and the Dr. Pepper. But I think the next time I'll get Bluebell, I'll probably just get like a regular
vanilla
flavor or something. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Probably. So.
But what about the special flavors?
Yeah, see, you tell me it's a special, I'll go crazy. So
apparently,
I don't know. So anyway, I hope you find the grocery chain that you're talking about because clearly I have not helped you today. So
I don't know. I think it's Smith's, but I don't know anymore.
Well, let's do a little bit of research and I
It's
don't know.
the Kroger family. It's a red logo with white letters. It's close enough. I'll just say that's what it was.
Why don't you put it out there, like on the gram, put it on your story and ask people for help and see if anyone replies.
What do you mean? It's out on the internet. It will be out on the internet now or whenever this goes out.
I mean, that's true, but I don't think anyone...
few and only fans.
That's right. To our few and only fans, it's a call for help. Please help us find this grocery chain that Mychow is looking for so his life can have closure and be complete.
Honestly, that's all I need right now.
Because if not that, then what else are we living for? So
apparently more barbecue than you can handle.
You're not wrong there. All right. Well, good luck to everyone, and we'll see ya.